We're just jumping.
Welcome back to Who Knows Best. We realized we weren't even recording. We've been having this long conversation, so we are going to catch you up. This week we're going to talk about World Tour. It just happened for most of the consultants. You probably visited. Some of them were during the week. Some of them were on the weekends. I just got back from the one in Dallas from Saturday. Not like just got back, but I watched it. It was great. It was probably the best World Tour that I've ever been on. We've also been chit chatting about TikTok and some other things. So we're going to throw that in here just so you kind of get the inside of like stuff that's blown my mind and it blew Jackie's mind. So we're going to share it with you guys. This is just all about how you work your business. And it doesn't have to be just a cookie cutter thing. You don't have to do exactly what everybody else does, because if you're wanting to find your people, you need to do it your way. So let's kind of go to World Tour. Like Jackie, I know you've been in for a really long time. Um,
I'm an
what do you
OG.
like? You are the OG. You are the OG. Um, World Tour. I mean, we can kind of explain what it is. It's like a mini SFR without the glimmer and the glam. That would be a
And
good,
without the confetti.
and without the confetti. Well, sometimes there's confetti. I have had a couple of times that we had the leaders come in and they did some
Yeah.
confetti, but
But no,
some,
like confetti at
but
the
not the
family. Yeah.
cannons. There's no cannons. So if you are ever wanting to know what SFR is, you can go to a world tour and kind of watch it and just realize what you're seeing in this one day. It's about 7 hours. You're getting a, a fourth, no, less than that, maybe like a tenth
Yeah.
of what
It's
SFR is.
a taste.
It's just a
Like
taste.
an
Like we have
appetizer.
SFR. Yeah, we
It's
have
an
SFR.
appetizer.
Yes, it's like the appetizer before the entree. And this is great because World Tour is local. And when I say local, that means there's multiple locations. They're all going on at different times, different dates. I say different times, but different areas. And so in the state of Texas, I believe we had three. We had El Paso, Houston, and Dallas. So they're not next door to you. You may have to drive a little bit. Some people drove in. We had people from Wisconsin. We had people from Michigan, and we had someone else
Oh,
that was out. Wasn't anybody outside the country, but I've had that before because they were in town for something else and then they hit that world tour. So it's very interesting whenever you find out people have driven pretty far.
yeah.
And you get a chance to meet people from home office in a very smaller setting, a chance to talk to them and kind of get to know them. A lot of the trainers, they, especially when there's a day that they have like 9 different or world tours on at the same time, they send out different crews. So who you get this year, you may not get next year. It all depends about the dates. But World Tour this year, again, it was the best I've ever had. But my scenario was different.
Yeah.
My husband didn't go with me this time, and I didn't have any teamies going. So I was completely riding solo. But I wasn't worrying about like having to find enough seats. I wasn't having to worry about like, okay, do I set this person by this person? Do I need to sit in between them? Do I need to help them? Do they understand? Like, what do they need? There's a lot of things for leaders that you kind of get overwhelmed.
Mhm.
And, eh, there's a lot to go into it when you have a whole team going. This year I didn't. I didn't have anybody go. And I had one of the best ones. And I think it's because I was able to focus on me and just watch. I didn't have to worry about anybody else's feelings. I didn't have to worry about, do you need something? I have snacks. What do you need? I just took care of me. So, since Jackie, you've been around now, so is it 13 years this year or 14?
13.
13 this year. My goodness. I am coming up on year
I'm a
5.
teenager.
You're a teenager at Scentsy. I'm coming up on 5 years. And so I missed the first world tour that I had because it was still during COVID. But I've hit every other one since then. So let's see, 2021, I didn't make. So 2022, 23, 24, 25. So I've had 4. And I will always go to World Tour. I will always go to SFR because no matter what, it's that little pick me up. It's that little bit of oomph that you need to kind of get you until you hit the summer. Because I'll tell you what, if we only had a conference one time a year, I it, I'd be dragging. I would be dragging. I'd be trying to like, I gotta get some energy into this. So there was a great amount of information there. They kind of show you some of the items, some of the collections that are coming out, some of the licensed stuff. They would glimpse it up there. This year I didn't take pictures. I didn't take pictures of who was up there. I didn't take pictures of the items, but I did take pictures of the product on the product table because I wanted to like show these off. I had Lisa in my mind and I was like, I gotta be a waxy cat. And I was taking it from different angles and I was doing the zoom out and zoom in. I mean, Lisa was in my head the entire time. She has taught me so much. But I have a couple of the items that we got as consultants. You always get some items to take home, and then guests get either a smaller version of them or different ones. They came home with 3 bars of wax. I came home with 1, but I have testers and I had 5 catalogs. I had a world tour exclusive, which was a fragrance flower. But it's not just any fragrance flower. This thing is the large fragrance flower. So this is a normal one. Okay, I got to zoom back in because this is
Boom!
so this is the large one.
It's like fireworks. Like,
Yeah,
boom,
it's like boom, 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 boom. So this is the little ones, and this is the big ones, and so they are like I'm absolutely just loving the size. We also got a warmer. This is one of the new warmers for spring.
I'm
So
sorry, I cannot look at this warmer without laughing.
we
And
we we're not going to say it. We're going to try and keep this. Not that we have to keep this clean, but we won't say it. We won't say it.
fine, I'm gonna keep it inside then, but just know
So
I'm
let's just say it is. I'm gonna have to say it's ribbed. So maybe you can think
ribs.
about what we said. It's ribbed. It has
Yes.
all of those little dots on it that poke out. It's just they're smaller at the top and they're larger at the bottom. But it's a cute warmer. The coloring on it. This camera
I
does
do
not do
like
it
the
justice.
teal color. I really do love the color for
Yeah,
spring.
if you like the
That's
teal,
beautiful.
and whenever it's turned on, and I'll turn it on, but it kind of washes out with this, as you can't see it, but maybe you can kind of see the bottom of this a little bit. You see how that's
A
turquoise there?
little,
It's kind
yeah.
of adjusting. It is very similar to the turquoise sea, like the mosaic one, the one that was all turquoise, different colors of turquoise. It was
Oh yeah. Okay.
it's very similar to that coloring. It has that, it's like it's kind of a teal, it's darker on the bottom than it is on the top. But we got a warmer. We got a bar of wax, which was oh yeah, there it is.
Was it a new scent?
Island Bloom. And I will tell you, my daughter helped me do all my stickers and stuff. This oh wait, is this the one that she liked? Yeah, this is the one she liked. She was very blown away. I gotta remember now. I want to say it was Island Bloom. It was
Is
a
this
pink.
more floral or is this more fresh?
Um,
Say this one is.
it's not.
Because you know,
I think it's more fruity.
oh really?
I think it's more fruity. I don't know. I'll have to look in the catalog. I can never categorize these because if I smell them, everything smells sweet to me. If it's sweet, it doesn't matter if it's a floral sweet or if it's like, if it's sweet, I'm always like it's fruity.
Okay, then let me rephrase. Hold on. Let me back up. I would like to rephrase my question, Your Honor. I would like to ask, would this be a scent that Jackie would like?
No,
Oh, really?
I know Jackie. Okay, so Jackie and I definitely have different scent palettes. Like we definitely have our favorites. I am fruity, citrus, bakery, and there's occasionally one that will come in the wood. There's a couple of ones, I think it's with either sandalwood or bergamot. I can't remember which one it is that I really like. But Jackie is all about the fresh and she loves the woods. And so this one, Island Bloom, is a fruity. So I was right, even though I was like, but everything smells fruity to me. Italian Sunshine was another one that I smelled.
Hold on. Tell us the description of Island Bloom because now I need to.
Island Bloom. Okay, tropical expedition, abundant with bright starfish or star fruit, not fish. Star fruit.
100% starfish here,
Yeah,
people.
it smells like fish, guys. A fruity fish. Like I don't know. Like oh
All
my gosh.
organic over here in
Oh.
Scentsy.
Gosh. Okay. But with star fruit and watermelon shaded by island palm. Now I do definitely.
Interesting though that you think it's fruit. It's stronger fruity because from the description. No, I believe you.
Yeah, it's a fruity one.
Saying, from the description, I would think more fresh.
You would think that. Now it does have a I want to say that you can smell that, what would they call it? The island palm. So you know
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
like aloe and cucumber have that kind of smell. So if you take that and add some watermelon to it and a little bit of berry. So again, I don't, it's not really completely yours, but it might be one of those that's borderline that it might be,
This
it's
one
just going to
might
be
be
a
a
really
borderline one for
sweet.
me,
It's
yes.
just going to be one of those that's going to be a little bit sweeter, clean.
I'm okay with
Sweeter.
sweet clean. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
So we got one
Yeah.
of these. Of course, we
I'm gonna
got to
write that
test.
down real quick. I'm just gonna I'm gonna make
Okay.
a just
Island Bloom. So
jotting.
now I did get the testers because those did come with it.
Oh, yes.
Um, I mean, I could do a smell test on this if you want. I don't
Man,
really want. I don't want because then it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff in my head, and it's going to. I have to. I always have to do my testers like in different times because I
yes.
do get overwhelmed with the
It's a
abundance
lot.
of scent. It's just, it's not that scent bothers me, but when there's a overabundance, like when I got to go to home office, when you walk down and they have all the different scents that are in the room that they're testing, it became very overwhelming pretty fast and in the factory because there's so many smells that are coming out that I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is a little strong. It's just because there's a lot. And for me, it's more of a sensory thing. Like I'm overwhelmed with too much stuff. So, but again, it was a great world tour. I had to look up her name because in Dallas, it was Shannon Barron had a great story. Of course, she had the time slot. I want to say, yeah, she had the time slot that was the 12 o'clock, 12 to 12:15. And of
Okay.
course, at that point, you have to understand we did not get a break at the Dallas one. And if we did, I was already on break. Maybe it's because I went to, I don't know, I can't remember now, but I I definitely know that it was there wasn't like an official break. And if it was, I was already on break. Um, but at the 12 o'clock spot is really hard for any consultant because we're all hungry. We're all ready to eat. Even you probably eaten through most of your snacks. You've already eaten through most of your stuff and you're ready to get something else in your system. And we've been sitting for a long period of time.
Ew,
But
yeah.
she definitely has the energy. She very much captivated me. I was so blown away by the speech that she had. And of course, there were some technical difficulties. They did not upload her slides. So she was basically like, well, this is what it kind of looks like. It was on her little sheets. And it was kind of funny, but without the slides, it didn't matter. You were just like the entire audience was so captivated. You could see everybody just leaning forward and was just kind of like almost like dumbstruck of like, wow, like it was just great. And she just, she's just being her. Like it was just the personality, the story she had. She had us laughing, she had us crying, she had us cheering, she had us doing Scentsy Spirit. Like it was everything you would expect from a whole day, all in like a 15-minute time. And
I love her already, and I don't
it's
even know
like I just love the energy. And I'm not saying that the other speakers were not good. What I'm saying is that she just stood out because she connected with me better. Like
her.
it's just one of those things. You're going to get so many different consultants. They have different ways of talking, different ways of scenarios or I don't know, analogies that just will
They
connect with you better.
articulate or how they talk about something, right? Like
Yes.
it's like, can it? We talk about TikTok a lot, right? So it's like, is it something like I would capture my attention? Would it capture my attention? Would it slow my scroll if I was
Yes.
listening to so and so? But what if this person was saying the same thing? Would I slow my scroll? Probably not, because I don't, whatever reason, right? Like they don't resonate with me. You resonate with somebody with who they are and that
Right.
often.
And even whenever we do trainings, Jackie can do a training. I can do the exact same training. We could even have a full speech and walk and
Yeah.
do the same words. And there's going to be people that will stop and listen to mine. And there's going to be a ton of people that go over and watch Jackie's because she will present it so much better than I will. But the energies are different. The way that the movements, it's just, she just captivated me and I was blown away. It was a really great story of like kind of how she's gotten, and I can't even remember. Honestly, the sad part is that I don't even remember what her topic was about. Like, because they talk about a certain topic, because they
Yes.
have someone who's
Give it
recruiting,
a
they have
topic.
someone who talks about parties, and I wish I'd written it down. I normally put, I always tell my teamies this, is that when you go to World Tour, you write the person's name down and one thing that stuck out. So that way
Oh,
you can always go look her up. Like, or you can be like, oh, okay, she talked about this and I really like the way that she
right.
talked about it. I don't even know what she talked about. So I'm gonna have to find her and I'm gonna have to like be like, I really need to see your slides so I can remember what you said.
Uh,
But
True story. True story. When you get caught up in the moment, though, you're caught up in the moment. And I like the fact that you said that you didn't take a whole lot of pictures. You didn't really do a whole lot of that because that tells me, right? That tells me because I'm that person too, where I'm like, oh, I feel like I have to take all the pictures. I have to do videos. I have to go live while I'm here. I have to do all the things. Like I gotta be all the things to all the people, right? For the all of this. But I also want to be in the moment. And so
yes,
when you're in the moment and you're not taking all the pictures and you're not doing all the videos, you're truly tuned in for you and you
yes.
alone. And I think that is a special. I agree with you when you say that this was a different world tour because I can relate to that because I am the person who when I do show up to events, people do recognize me because I am on a lot of stuff and I love that and I appreciate that. And I'm
Let's
also
just say people recognize me because I'm on a podcast with Jackie. So, like, look, people recognize Jackie. If Jackie walked in there, half the place would be like, "Oh," and
Well,
I was the,
it's very
"You're on
hard to,
a
like,
podcast with
tune
Jackie,
in
right?"
and be like, "I wanna focus. I wanna soak it I wanna soak in the moment," right? Like, kind of like when you're with even take it, like, as a mom or a grandmother, right? Like, you wanna soak in that moment. There's even times where I'm hanging out with my daughter and my grandson, and we're just hanging out, and then I'll get home and I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't take any I'd love to post a picture of him tonight, and I didn't take any pictures." And then I like kick myself mentally, and I'm like, "Well, Jay, that's because you were living in the moment. Like you were
We're
enjoying your
having
time."
so much fun. There was no reason to take a picture to prove it.
Right. I didn't take out my phone because I was in the moment. And so I think that's great for you. And I love that. I
So
really do.
it was just one of those things is that I like to be able to go so I can see the products. And they
Mhm.
did have the Easter collection out. They did have, and there's going to be pictures that you'll be able to see all over Facebook and all the groups. Um, but there's going to be stuff that, is coming out. So that's the nice thing about going to some of the with World Tour or SFR. You get a chance to see, touch, feel, smell, all the products that are coming out.
Selfies with all the things. Yes,
Yes.
very
So it's just kind of like you get a chance to see it all. And that way if you have time, now the lines are normally really long, but because I was by myself and it didn't matter, I didn't have to like, hey, I'm going to try and go sneak back and do pictures. When I went to the bathroom one of the times, there was nobody at the table. Or like one person or something. And so I was able to go through and I definitely channeled the Waxy Cat on taking pictures of different angles, different sides. I almost thought about flipping it upside down so I could get a really close up from the bottom picture. I don't know. Like I was thinking like what would Lisa do? And I do that whenever I'm taking pictures because I after before I used to just be like ding, 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 and be done. And I'm like, no, I am going to do a Waxy Cat thing. Now I didn't pick any of them up and put my face next to them because that's normally what we do is we'll either
yeah.
take a picture, a selfie like this,
Yes,
and we're holding it,
yes.
or we have her thumb, the Lisa thumb. I think we should really like coin that Waxy Cat
Yeah, I was
thumb.
gonna say I think that should be trademarked.
I
At
think
least
we need to trademark that. The Waxy Cat thumb, wherever oh, I guess I should like you're holding it like this, and all you ever have to do is paint one thumbnail and take a picture of it. And so that way when you show your customers, that's you. I mean, you're actually holding it. You're not taking a picture because I'll tell you what, I have taken Jackie's pictures of like one here. I'm like, hey, will you snap a shot of this? And she'll put it in her hand and I'll share it with my customers. And they're gonna be like, I didn't know you got your nails. And I'm like, I didn't. That's Jackie or that's Lisa. I'm such that person that it doesn't matter. I'll tell them like this is the best picture I could get from a friend of mine, and share it along because they don't care what hand it is.
They don't care. They
They
don't
just want to
care.
know what the product looks like or what did this smell like. And then again, that's why the testers were great because I can smell the 10 cents before they release. Now I also got the bars before, like in my business supplies, I did get the bars.
As
I've
a
already used them.
consultant exclusive, we
Yes,
have the
I
ability
have
to
already
do that.
used them. So my Island Bloom, I put here in my office, and I do love it. I really do. It's very springy, And that's what I'm saying. It's that verge of spring and fresh, like the fruity fresh, because it's very energizing for me. But I'm also so ready for spring. It's been so cold here in Texas. So ready for spring.
Really? Has it been cold in Texas? Has it been -11 in Texas? Has
Okay.
it? Has it snowed 1.5 feet? Has it in one day?
Okay.
No,
Let
I
me
think
just say
you're
this.
fine. Texas, sit down, okay? Let
Okay.
Katie hold the beer for a second because
Okay.
we've had a winter, okay?
Well, let me just say that with the weather, how it's normally in Texas, we normally get 2, 3 days out of the whole year. We did have actually about 2 weeks, and they're like a cold front's coming back through Texas. We will have a high of
Cold front.
68
What was
on
it? What was
Thursday.
that cold
A
front? What
high of
was it?
68. So come
Oh,
on. Yes, but also during the summer, you don't understand. During the summer, we're 110. So can you
yeah,
fry
but
an
is it
egg on
dry
your
heat?
car? Yeah. So but anyway, so it is, so the scents are coming out. We have, so this is the time with your customers. You need to let them know that like fall and winter is leaving, spring and summer is coming. Start looking for those pictures, start looking for the stuff that you can tell them about. And honestly, guys, even if you didn't smell it, you can read the descriptions and tell them, you can go through and pick out, oh, like this says that has strawberry on it. I'm going to message my customer because I know she likes the strawberry scents and be like, hey, this is the new one. They like bergamot or sandalwood. You can go through some of the new scents that are coming out and be like, hey, FYI, I know you love all the wood stuff. We have a couple of new scents that are coming out, or if they're fresh, bakery, whatever. You can still utilize things without having them in your hand. And you just have to be creative, and you just kind of need to learn your customers.
I think that's a really good point because I'm at a point in my business where I've kind of scaled back a lot because normally I would have already gotten all of my business supplies for spring and summer by now. I would have made all of my orders. I would have done all of the things. I haven't. And I'm scaling back now. Will I do the transition tester set? Of course I will. But I do want to say this, and what I have started doing, like in my, I don't even call it my VIP group. It's a VIP group on Facebook, but I call it my insiders group. But my little insiders group with all my VIPs, my customers, right? I tell them, hey, I haven't had a chance to smell this one yet, but the description, chef's kiss. Like these are my personal top 5 that I'm like, this is the 6-pack that I will be buying first. And
Right.
so I'm letting them know. I'm being very upfront and honest. Hey guys, I haven't gotten them. I haven't smelled them. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, these ones sound amazing.
Well, and
These
with
are
your customers,
perfect,
when they know what
right?
your scent, like your favorites are, they're gonna know, they'll be like, everything Jacqui orders, I'm ordering. Or they're gonna be like, anything Jacqui hates, I'm gonna order. Because for
Right.
me, if Jackie's like,
Like they
I
like
don't
the
like this,
opposite, right?
it's the first thing that I do is order it. When Jackie's like, oh, it was too fruity, I'm like, oh, that's me. Like that's also
See?
me. And I can smell something and I'll be like, Jacqui, you're gonna love this.
Mhm.
It's the clean, or it's the woodsy, or it's a very, and I don't like deep scent. I don't know how to say this, where it's like, but like when it's one of those that is that hearty, earthy scent, like I know it has Jackie's name written all over it.
My heart
'Cause
beats fast.
I
And
know.
I will say also for the people who maybe you've attended World Tour or going to, maybe yours has, are they all done? They're not all
I
done.
think they're all done. I can't
Are they all done?
remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But
But I will say, even if you just went, and let's say you just went to World Tour and you got your kit, like Texas got her kit, right? She got the 10 testers, she got the warmer, which is ribbed. It's ribbed. But she got all that stuff right in her kit. But she also bought the scents too. So if you don't have the extra money and you just went to World Tour, or if you just get the transition tester set, you know what you can do? You can still make samples out of what you have. You don't have to buy the whole sales kit if you don't have the money to spend. So don't feel like that is what you have to do it. For one, you can get the stickers. For two, you can also take the testers and put them in your little warmer dish. Here's my warmer. Now it's full because there's wax in it. But you dump this out. Take your tester, take off the lid, turn it upside down, put it in a warmer, let it melt out, and then you can make your felt samples, or you
yep,
can make your mold. I mean, felt samples will go longer and will stretch more for your buck there. But You know what I mean? Even if you just went to World Tour and you only got those 10 testers, use those 10 testers.
Well,
Use
and
them.
I will tell you, this year was the first time that I bought my products and all of my business supplies separately because I didn't want the catalogs. I don't use catalogs. I still have so many catalogs every single season. I never seem to give out enough. And so I was like, I don't need the
Going more
20.
digital, aren't we?
We are definitely going digital. And I got the 5 from World Tour, but I promise you by the end of this season, I've gotten rid of all those 5, but that's all I'm going to have. But I definitely do the scratch and sniff stickers or the
Mhm.
rub and smell, sorry. Rub and smell stickers. And
Yeah.
this year I didn't want to do a whole long piece I didn't want to do it on the trifold and have it on one side and
Back
print
part.
something up. Man, I did not do a Canva thing. This is my daughter cut these into 4 or 6, and then she just put the like 5 on each side. That's it. I'm gonna have my name on here and like I probably just put my name on there. That's probably all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I think that is just it's so easy and quick. And why do you need all the other stuff, right?
Yep. There's no reason
Why do
to
you need
make
all the other stuff?
There's no like I love doing the Canvas stuff and printing them, but then what happens is that one of them gets off, so that's a whole page wasted. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do something easy this time. And I literally just did this. And I didn't get catalogs, I get the product sheets. And the product
Yeah,
sheets, you know, I just fold them up. So this way it's gonna be kind of like these are gonna go together and I'm gonna give these out to my customers. And I haven't decided if I'm going to mail them or not, but I had to make sure that what she had, that's why we couldn't do a 4th. We did the 6 because I needed to make sure it wasn't too wide to go into my envelope. And
yeah,
this will be perfect. It's going to be easy. I didn't print off. I didn't spend 10 hours printing, 100 pages front and back, having them cut, do all the things, which I'm not knocking it, but I have a lot going on.
right.
And every season's going to look different. There's going to be times I'm going to get back to that because maybe this is, when school's over, I don't have 4 classes bombarding me. I might go back to everything. It's just that right now I wanted to make sure I did it and got it done.
I
And
love it.
so don't think you have to buy all the things. Don't think you have to do all
Yeah.
the things, guys, because you will be chasing a dream of being successful as somebody else and you're going to fail and you're going to think it's your fault.
Yes.
You got to find your own spot. You got to find your own thing. Like, golly, I mean, that's the whole reason we did this whole podcast was because my business is so much different than Jacqui's, and Jacqui's business is so
Well,
much
and
different
even
from
our
that.
businesses, both of our businesses have evolved and changed
Yes.
in the last year, let alone the last, since we both each started, right? Like
Yep.
I were to
There's
look
an
back
ebb
on
and
the last
flow.
year of, and I will every so often, yes, I get on Facebook and yes, I look at my Facebook memories every so often. And when I do look at those little things, I look at it and now it shows me my Instagram stories too, because Meta integrates everything, right?
Yep.
I'll be like, this was your Instagram story from 3 years ago. And of course, I've been with Scentsy. I'm an OG, right? So I've been with Scentsy for a hot minute. So I see like these older Instagram stories or older Instagram posts or even older Facebook posts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember how long it took me to make all of that stuff. And I remember because that was the season I was in. Right now, I'm not in that season. I'm like Texas, right? Like I'm getting a certification right now. So I've got classes that I'm trying to do and working full time and still all the other stuff that comes along with being a middle-aged woman, but I'm trying to get all that stuff done. And so with all of that, I don't necessarily have the same time to dedicate to as much as I'd love to sit on Canva all day. I don't. And I don't have the time to fill in with that. So I love just making it simple, getting it done, getting it out the door and saying, you know what? I did it. It's done. My customers are going to be happy whether or not it looks like this, whether or not it looks like a Canva image. They don't care. They don't
Yep.
care.
Most of the time your customers, they just want to be able to smell something to know what's coming out. And it
Yes.
it doesn't have to be, there's so many different ways to do it. Some people do the crumbles. Some of them will do the melts, some of them will do the rub and smell stickers.
Yep.
I always forget what it is.
I know.
And then some of them will do the felt or even the little sheets of the nail stuff that I use is where it's just dipped in
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
I have those too. Yeah, I've got those too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they can just get a smell. And that's the biggest part is about your business is that if your customers aren't smelling the scents, they're not going to buy them. And I mean,
Right.
that's bottom line. Now you can tell them what it is, and most of the time it will entice them, especially if you know what they like. Like I know which ones Jackie likes. And I'd be
Mm.
like, oh, this is so for you. Which there is one that is so for you. Hold on, where's my list?
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm ready.
So I put it in the bedroom because the bedroom is kind of where Blake is.
I'm in your bedroom now.
Yeah,
I love this.
yes,
I love this journey for
you're
me.
definitely
Okay.
in. Like my thoughts of you were when I put it in my bedroom. Because I know that you and Blake have a lot of the similar scents. And so I know if there's one that he likes that you're gonna like it. And
Okay.
it was the freshwater sage. So it's got
Ooh.
vibrant citrus zest and bergamot tea leaves, adrift, a marine musk. And so it has that kind of like oceany, woodsy. I don't even know how else to explain it, but I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love that one. And the other one is the desert twilight. This
Oh.
one's got the sandalwood. That's why I'm like, I think it's sandalwood and bergamot, and I'm like, oh.
I'm a total sandalwood freak. I love
So
it. Give me all.
this one is sagro blossom. I'm probably
Okay.
totally butchering that. Stands tall over warm clay and sandalwood at golden hour.
You had me at sandalwood.
Yeah, so it's but I'm telling you, so these new fresh ones like Ocean Shimmer, this is a fresh scent. It's Capri Lemon sparkles the sunshine along a blue musk and a splash of sea spray.
Oh, that one's mine too. Okay, I'm
And then
coming.
Barefoot Beach. This is definitely a Jackie one. Warm sand beckons as sweet coconut and macadamia wanders across island driftwood. Now, this you would think that with that coconut, that's going to be like overwhelming
Ah,
the coconut gives it just enough. It's not like daiquiri coconut. It is like, it's not like sunscreen coconut. It is
right.
like just a coconut sprinkled on top of some driftwood. I don't know how else to explain it. So it's just a smidge coconutty
Okay.
along with that driftwood. So you get that beachy thing, but it's not like ocean is I don't know how to explain it, guys. Whenever the scents that they do and the names that they put on these, they're
I know.
so on point.
Oh,
And I think that's going to be the ones for you, but I
okay.
like and so, like the fruity, the island bloom, the
Oh
Italian sunshine. I always want to say Italian
my
sausage.
gosh. And do you realize we're sitting here talking about this and I just popped into my head. All of these come out on Saturday.
Yes. Oh, yes. All these come out Saturday. So you want to make
Saturday.
sure that, you start going through your customers list and just look at the different ones. You
Oh,
can search a category in your under your reporting oh, and FYI, we were the last this Saturday was the last of the world tours.
was okay.
Um because of course the Saturday is the first of the month. But if you go under reporting and go to my customers, you
Yes.
can look for so many different things on customer or product history, purchase history. So you can see specific items and look through. You can start typing in driftwood,
Now, you can
sandalwood.
also do this through the Scentsy Connect app too, right? Like there's a way to because I want to say that I've searched through Connect.
I don't know if you can pull up the products of all your customers from the Connect.
Hold on, now I gotta find out
Now
because
we
I'm
gotta look. Cause see, hey, look, we
gonna
all learned
look
at the
because
same
I'm like
time. Here we
I'm
go.
pretty sure I want to say that I've done it before, but again, Jackie's living in her own little material world here.
So I know
I
that
don't
you
know.
can send out like there is a marketing and products, but the tasks you can promote, but you can't just run a report.
But can't you like search your customer? Isn't
You
oh god.
can filter your customers. So you can set a
Filter. That's
filter.
what
So you can say the
yes.
last time that they ordered, the
Yes.
last time, or the biggest order, the most PRV, the least PRV, that kind of thing. You can still like sort your contacts, but the products of being like to know what products they purchase,
Need
you'd
to
have to
go
go through
into our
every
website.
single customer one by one.
Okay.
So and who knows, they might be doing some new updates to it. They didn't talk about it, so I'm not like being like, ooh, this is what I know. I'm just saying that they're constantly updating,
Yes,
they're
they are.
constantly trying to
Yeah.
evolve. um
And I will say, I mean, the Scentsy Connect app it's been something again, the OG here. They've tried an app in the past and it was a total flop. I will be completely transparent and
well,
say
I liked Amy. So you're
it
talking
didn't
about, was
no,
it
not Amy. No,
okay?
I'm talking
So it was
about
something
the
different.
Scentsy app. It was a Scentsy app that was it was meant to just like what Scentsy Connect does now, right?
Okay.
That's what they were trying to do back in the day, and it completely just did not deliver. And
Okay.
everybody was like, "Oh." And then it was like, "Well, just save the workstation, save it to your home screen, and then you can just very." Well, that was the same thing as just going to the opening on my phone, just going to
Yeah.
the going to the workstation, right? So that didn't really do me any good. But the Scentsy Connect, even as long as it's been out, they've done several updates
Yes.
since. And so I can only assume that they have more in the works for it. So
Oh, they've got to have more in the works
I
because
would
even
say if you're a consultant, I would start jumping into that, even if it's just a little bit. Play around with it, click in there when you can,
well, and you
and
can make your own templates now. You can
yes,
update the templates that are in there. So it is getting very versatile. And I do like it because there's times that I forget and I don't want to have to go to the workstation to figure out
I
who was the last person that
know.
ordered. And I don't want to have to go and then I have to go through my orders and then figure it out. Like I do love Cincy Connect. I really do. I really think that this is I can't really say it's better than Amy. It's different because Amy was
Oh, it's definitely different than Amy.
yeah,
Yes.
it's just different. And so what the other things we wanted to talk about is that, we're going to give you a little updates on the TikTok. So there are
That's
things on.
hold on one second real quick. So I'm
Yeah,
so sorry
yeah,
to interrupt, but I'm gonna
no,
interrupt for a hot
please
second.
go.
Okay, this is how I did it. And I don't want to show the screen because it's got my customer information on it.
Okay, so just talk me
When
through it.
when you pull up your customer,
Okay.
and you're in your contact details, this is
Yep.
how I did by scent. I went when you pull up a customer contact details, you can go to orders and you can actually look to see what they previously ordered. And then what I did is I've only started this because I didn't, again, Jackie doesn't have too much time to do this right now, but you can apply tags. And so what I
Okay.
did is I started applying tags and I created like fruit or fruity or floral or fresh or bakery, whatever. And I started creating tags, and then you can assign a tag to that customer. So
Okay.
when new scent or when those new scents come out on Saturday, and then all you would have to do is just very quickly through your Scentsy Connect app, you can pull up those tags, and then
Yes. Okay. So yes, that's a little bit different, but you have to set those tags up. So
you
it's
do.
not
It's
something.
very manual, which is why I have not finished that task yet. So
Well, and again, if you do the report first over here and you pull
mhm.
those up, you can go to your customers and that way like, okay, these are all the
You
customers
can,
that
but I do
ordered.
know that I have a lot of downline who they either don't have like a computer that they work on, or there's just simply like, no, Jackie, it's a phone business for me. Like I am
But
truly
you
just
can still run these reports on your phone.
you
You just can't print
can. I
them
will
or
say it is hard, and I've done it myself many,
yeah.
many a times, but it is harder to do those reports when you are on mobile. So if that is something that would float your boat a little bit better, then get into that app and just dive headfirst into the app, right? Just dive headfirst into Scentsy Connect. You can do some fun stuff in there. You could be all kinds of things. But yes, I agree. If you've got access to the workstation, you can. I'm a spreadsheet queen. So yes, I agree. I am the report person. I will pull the reports, I will sort the reports, I will create the reports. I do all of the things. But
Yeah, see, I don't
again,
print.
you don't have to
I
do
don't
like what we do.
yeah, I don't download. So I'm one of those that I will sort and then I'll pull information I need off of it, but I won't do the Excel spreadsheets anymore because I have so many Excel spreadsheets that I save
I
to my
know, right?
computer.
I
Um
live in Excel every day.
yeah.
It's
So
a fun.
and that's the other thing is that because I don't use I mean I know how to do it, but it's like it's more or less is that I don't want to get into it because then I try to do too much. And
Yeah.
that's where it's like I will look at the report that Cincy create that basically when I put in the parameters and it pulls it up because you can be very vague and you can pull up everything that if they ever bought anything Disney, you can pull up every single buddy that bought anything Disney. Now it could have been a discontinued item, a one-off. They only bought one thing one time, but
Or
still,
clearance item that
yeah,
just happened
clearance
to be
item,
something
and they
that they
just
were like, oh,
happened
throw that in the cart.
could have been a scent circle that was
Yeah.
discontinued. There's so many different ways. So it is very vague, or you can make it very specific.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, while we're talking about like the apps and stuff, we do have something new with Scentsy, and this is the Scentsy, the Spark Sessions. So if you haven't looked into the Spark sections, and you're really trying to change your business, update your business, or maybe you want to get personalized training. I have not, mine are tomorrow, and then yours is tomorrow also.
Tomorrow night at
Yeah.
7.
So at mine, I have one class at 12 and then I have one at 2, which happened to just open up, guys. So if you can't find an opening, keep checking back. I
Yeah,
didn't even
keep
think
checking.
about the day before they get an email. And if somebody can't do it and they cancel, then that means there's an opening. And I jumped right on that. So the way to go to it is you go to Scentsy Family Consultants and it's pinned at the top.
On Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook, and you can find these sessions and they vary. So one of them is finding new customers. One of them is increasing orders, elevating customer engagement, recruiting to grow your team, uh consistently meeting activity requirements. So that means like your PRV, that thing,
Yes.
gosh, empowering your teams to grow their teams. So there's 6 different categories, and we were all, because Jacqui's first question is, is it only during the day? And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. The 2 I found happen to be during the day, but they fill up pretty quick. But I think they only go month by month. So I think maybe on the first, maybe they'll refresh. I don't know if they're changing like topics, but they may be like refreshing the calendar. Jacqui was able to find one that's at 7 o'clock
Yeah,
at night.
even when we were sitting here talking, that's why we were late on our getting onto our
Well,
podcast.
I thought I was
Got all
recording. I should have
confused.
recorded.
I
It was
know.
one of those things.
And I was like, hold on, let me look. And I was like, oh, boo. I want to look. I want to, I think mine was the customers one or whatever. And I was like, no, there's one available during the day. I can't do that. I'll be at work. Nope, that's not going to work for me. I was like, oh, well, maybe next month, maybe when they open up the new sessions. And then I went down to what was the one that I did? I screenshot.
Are you
That's
elevating customer engagement?
Yes, elevating customer engagement. Yes. And so I clicked on that one, and there was time slot open available at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And I was like, oh, well, okay, take it, done. So you do, like Texas said, just keep checking back or check the other ones, even if it may not be like, well, that's
Your
not what I'm
thing.
on right now. That's fine. Still hop on one because you're going to get commute from what I have seen and heard, because I haven't been on one yet till tomorrow night. But what I've seen and heard is it's more or less, again, just like what we're doing right here, right? It's the
Mhm.
community. It's talking to people who are doing what you're doing and brainstorming and sharing ideas back and forth. So if that's what you're craving, if that's what you're needing, oh,
And
I
it's
am
like
excited.
personalized. You got to think about it. It's personalized training. You have to have your cameras on. So that is one thing that is a requirement, that you have to have your camera on. And they're doing this because the way, like, if Jacqui didn't have her camera on, it's going to be really hard for me to know if she's about to talk because she's not like kind of doing this. I can't see her if she's like, if I say something, she was like, I would be like, what? And there's no way to feed off of it. And no one wants to just sit there and stare at themselves. I
And it
promise
doesn't
you.
matter what you look like, so don't think that you have to get all dressed up to be on the camera just because your camera's on.
Yeah.
You can
Don't
go
think you got to be
watch
full
our
makeup and
podcast. You'll
no
see
ball
Jack
gowns.
doesn't have it all done.
Yeah.
Okay.
No ball gowns. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to go get waxed. You're good. You just show up and be present. Yeah, be present. That goes back to our early conversation, but we won't talk about that right now. But there's a lot of things that Scentsy putting in place for your business. There's different ways for you to connect, and trust me, I have taken my step back this last year and a half. I really had to focus on me and work on me. I think it was because I hit director so fast, and then there was other turmoil that I had going on with my upline, that I had to work through and get back to a good spot for me. And this weekend, one of the big epiphanies that I had is I realized I've been so worried about me because that was my time. I was in a me time. I needed to get right. I needed to get better. I needed to be better physically and mentally. And I had a lot of stuff going on. I had a child leaving. And so she was moving away. And then it's like now we're empty nesters and I can't find a job. And there was so much stuff going on that it's like me, 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 me. And then it hit me this weekend that I needed to start giving back. I needed to start doing some more trainings. I sent Jacqui a message and I'm like, I'm so ready for tonight. I've done some Facebook lives. I've done some TikToks today. And this will be like my 5th time on camera, in one day. And I have another one I'm doing after I'm done with this. So it's like, I'm ready to give back. And I fuel off of that because it, it warms my heart whenever I can help someone else. If I can provide some information to someone that will help them get through whatever problems are going on. And if I can share my knowledge, because guys, there's so much knowledge up here, it just like oozes
There
out. But it's like,
is. You have
And, you
so
know,
much knowledge,
it's just random stuff and some, it's worthless information to
but it's
me, but
good.
the stuff that I do all the time becomes such second nature that I don't realize that, like, hey, by the way, I can help you with that because I do that all the time. It's like I forget I do things. Like I forget like I'm good at some stuff. But that's just kind of one of the things is that you need to get connected in with something in Scentsy. And it doesn't matter what your connection is to your upline or your team or who you're included in or who you're under. It's all about finding where you fit in and finding the people who will build on a chair and build an extra table length for you or put a leaf in and expand the table for you. It's all finding like, what's going on. And I can honestly say that Jacqui was one of the first people to definitely extend out that leaf, and I'm absolutely like I absolutely just love Jacqui. Just understand that like I wouldn't still be doing this business without Jacqui. And I wouldn't have had
I
my
wouldn't be doing
business.
this without you either.
Well,
Just
I wouldn't
I
have had the
think you know
success
that,
I
but I
had.
don't.
Well, I wouldn't have had the success I had without Jacqui because I found her on videos and I found that connection. And sometimes we are in a stage of giving. Sometimes we're in a stage of receiving, and sometimes we have to focus and be selfish on ourselves because when we give so much of ourselves and we're not ever feeding back into ourselves, that we get drowned. I mean, like we get
Refill our
drained.
own cup.
Yeah, and
It is
so
true, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. You
yeah,
cannot. And I am very guilty of this. I'm very much a people pleaser, even at work, at the day job. Like it is the same thing. I'm a people pleaser. I will help other people before, and then I'm like, well, crap, I still have to get my own work done before I leave in 30 minutes. Holy crap.
yeah.
I'm like trying to rush out the door. But that's how I am, and that's how I'm focused. And but there are times when that's great, but there are times when that's going to lead you to burnout. That's going to
Yeah.
lead you to where you feel like you're failing or you feel like you're not good enough or you feel like this isn't for me. When and it I mean, I think we're all pretty familiar. I'm pretty open on my struggles and I've done it on TikTok even. I've gone through a season to where I was like, is this really still for me? I had to take a step back and say, is this really still for me? Like, I don't know. I'm refilling my cup seriously in motion. You were seeing me like tonight
This
even.
is your me time.
I am refilling myself right now because that's what I have to do. And you have to take those steps back. You have to refuel. You do.
Well,
So,
and it gives you a different perspective because once you've started to refill your cup and once you've had that me time,
mhm.
then it's like, okay, now I want to share, or now I need to connect, or now I need to talk out the ideas out loud, or I need to be able to collab with someone to be like, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Because Jacqui can tell you I overthink everything, and I'm like, okay, but there's like 95,000 steps. And she's like, first of all, you have to take step one. So let's just start here. And then I'm like, you're right. Hold on. Let me step back. I'm looking at trying to get through every step of the maze whenever, first of all, I gotta go into the maze. Like I gotta get in there.
Yeah.
And that's why the journeys are always so different because no matter where you're at in your life, you may not be in the same stage as someone else, but you may have been there or they may have already been there and they can help you through.
Yeah.
And finding other consultants that you can connect with and finding other people like these events are major when you are in need of connecting to other consultants.
Mhm.
Because like World Tour, it's Dallas. So for me, it's about 40. Well, it took me 28 minutes to get there and 58 minutes to get home because of traffic. Um, but for me, going to the
But
local
it
event,
wasn't -11.
yeah. Well, and even Tracy DeMario showed up in Dallas.
Oh, that's
So
right. She did go to
I
Dallas.
didn't know she was going to be there. She had the most recruited people in a year.
Oh my gosh.
Do you even know what her number is?
No, what was it?
42.
Wow,
She recruited 42 people last year.
that's fantastic.
I was blown away. So my third generation SSD had like 32. So it was hers 42 and then it was 32 or 33. It was like about 10 away.
Wow.
And then after that, then it was like, 27, 28. Because they were like, how many recruits did you have in a year? And I was like going, and they're like, do they have to be certified? And they're like, no, just recruits. Like it's not like who got certified and everything else. It's how many people did you talk to? And that
Mhm.
was one of the topics they talked about of like, who do you ask? And everybody boils down to everybody. You ask everybody. And the reason why is because you never know, like, we all have a persona online. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you say, no, that's me. You have a persona online, because I'll tell you what, nobody takes a picture with them on the pot in the bathroom and say, I'm taking a dump. Seriously, nobody does that. So there's crap that goes
Don't
on.
tempt me with a good time.
There's
Watch
crap that
my
goes on in
TikTok
our life
later.
that we don't share because you want to keep stuff personal. And most of the stuff that you're going to post is going to be basically the polished version of you.
Right.
And I'm
Exactly.
not saying that it's not you, it's just a polished version. It's like, I don't, like, on a normal day, if Jackie and I were on a Zoom call, there wouldn't be makeup on my face. But again, I went live multiple times and my rosacea is really bad. So I put a little bit of makeup on just to make sure it's, guys don't think I'm having a stroke, or you think my blood pressure's up or anything problem. Like, it is all perimenopausal, guys. Like, it is life being a middle-aged woman, that, the rosacea is bad right now. I've tried everything, like everything.
I didn't get
Guys,
dressed up for this. I just literally have not even. I told Texas, I haven't even taken my shoes off from
yeah,
work. I'm still in my work shoes. Okay,
yeah.
this is still just Jackie after work. Like I haven't even changed. That's
And
how far
so
I've been at home today.
And so when you think about, like, who you do ask, is when you talk about for everything. And they also talked about world tour, about, like, how do you introduce yourself? The first thing when you meet someone brand new, you kind of, like, especially if you're meeting some friends of a friend, or you're at, you're in a social setting and they're like, oh, what do you do for work? And it's the whole thing. It's like, oh, I'm just a Scentsy consultant. That's not the way to say it. And you don't need to stop there. It needs to be more or less is that, I have, there's so many different ways to word it, that I have a fragrance company that I own and operate, and the distribution's out of Meridian, Idaho, because that's true. You're not lying. But you when we second guess of, like, what we do, or if we don't stand behind what we do, or we're embarrassed by it. Like, guys, I was more embarrassed about telling my parents that I was on TikTok than I ever was of a Scentsy consultant. And it's like, I mean, that was, my mom was like, what does that mean? I'm like, well, I'm doing this on TikTok. And she's like,
Are
she
you
looked
taking
at,
pictures of your feet?
I swear she looked at me like I said I had an OnlyFans page. Like, I seriously was like, Mom, it's just TikTok. It's like, okay, like, I go live and I talk to people and I connect, so it's those things that that if you are embarrassed about what you do, it's not going to be easy to have that conversation. And that's when you need to figure out what words are easy for you to say about what do you do. You're not just a Scentsy consultant. You're an independent contractor. You're an independent consultant. You own and operate your business. You work at, you do marketing. Like, I can sit there and say all the things that I do for my job. I'm a digital marketer. I'm also a influencer. I also do distribution and logistics of how I'm getting places and dropping stuff off. I also have my distribution out of Meridian. Well, right now it's in Capel until March something, and then it's going to be out of Meridian, Idaho. Like, you can sit there and go through all of these things, and that's who you are. There's no reason, So that was another really good topic to discuss at World Tour, was because sometimes people are like, I don't know what to say.
You
Work
know
on
what I
what you're going
say
to say.
when I
What do
tell
you
people
what do you
what I do?
say?
Okay, so I tell them, I don't even mention Scentsy. I don't, and that maybe that's taboo. I don't know.
I don't mention Scentsy.
I
I
don't
always
mention
just tell them
Scentsy.
I'm a
I tell
fragrance.
people, they're like, oh, you do something, and I was like, oh yeah, I also I sell things that smell good.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
well, what do you sell?
Entice them. You
What do you
don't have,
sell? And I'm
yeah.
like, everything. We have cleaning products, laundry products, wax, all the things, oil. Like we do all the things. And they're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Yeah, we do it
Like,
all over here.
I was like, tell me, I tell
And
people all the
then I tell
time.
them it's Scentsy.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, is like, tell me the worst place that you can't get a smell out, or that you wish smelled better. And it could be anything from your bathroom to your bedroom to your pets, your children, your furniture, your carpet. Like, give me the troubles that you have. And I said, I bet you 99% of the time I'm gonna have a solution.
Yep.
So it's all about how you present yourself. And that's where it comes up with, is like, if you don't know what to say, practice. Find
Yeah.
another consultant that you're like, okay, help me wear this. If we're meeting each other, and you could do scenarios. I mean, guys, the reason why we always did like, I have conversations in my head of how's it going to sound. When I meet people, I'm like, if I'm meeting I got to meet my husband's best friend from work. So his work best friend for New Year's Eve. And I had this whole scenario, like, this is what I'm going to say when they say this and I do this. And Blake's like, why are you overthinking this? I'm like, because
This is why we're so much alike. Because I'm
I
the
have
same
not
way.
been out of the house
All.
since 2020 on a New Year's Eve, or actually since I got sober in 2021. I haven't been out on a New Year's Eve anywhere with people. Like, we just don't do that. We don't go out. We were out till like 1:30 in the morning. Like, we stayed out late. We had the bonfire, or they had the fire pit thing go. I said bonfire. We had a fire pit thing going. We were just sitting there. I mean, they were drinking. It wasn't a big deal for me, but we just sat and talked about stuff, and I realized how much I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of things that I stopped myself from going. And so I'm like, I'm ready to get back around people. Like, I am
Mhm.
ready to be back in the flow of things. I'm also mentally getting prepared to go back to work. And
Yeah.
that's not an easy feat, because Jackie and I've had this conversation before she went back to work. It was
Mhm.
like, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Like, it really is. It really is. It
So,
is.
but I'm going to do a couple of the tidbits for TikTok, and then we will kind of wrap this up. But on
Yeah.
TikTok,
No.
if you're a consumer, so what I mean is that you get on TikTok and you just flip through and scroll through, and maybe you watch lives or not, because sometimes they'll pop up. Um, when you start noticing things that are constantly like you don't like, there are ways to reset your FYP. There's ways to stop seeing things that you don't want to see. So when you get across a video, or even a live, even no, not with a live host. Well, maybe with a live host. I think it's in there every time that you push the share button
Okay.
and you scroll across the options, and there's a broken heart that says not interested. Now, this works really well when you like, I wish Facebook had this, because I do love all the consultants, but when I scroll my feed and all I'm seeing is other Scentsy consultants and all the time, it gets very hard for me to find my friends and to find
Yeah.
like my customers and find my people. And so there are times that I'll still leave the connection for friends, but I will like snooze for 30 days, because I still want to see their stuff and I want to remember I'm friends with them. But at the same time, is
Right.
that I need to, when I'm on any social media platform, I need to find the people I need to connect with.
Right.
And so you can reset your FYP completely. And then when you come across stuff that you don't like I love people mowing lawns. I don't know why. It's very soothing.
Really?
I will watch whatever amount of time. I watch it on YouTube all the time, an hour long. And I'm like, I just watch it. And I'm like, that is soothing to me. I don't know why.
No, they're just mowing their lawn. Okay.
But
All
I
right.
don't want to watch somebody
Jackie's
put their
gonna
makeup
go
on.
YouTube famous this summer, and I'm gonna just set up the tripod
Dude,
and mow my yard.
I would watch you all day long mowing your lawn, because I want to see how straight your lines are.
The
I
line.
want to make sure that, if you're trimming like those bushes out there, or you're pulling up weed, like, I don't know why that's so soothing to me, but I will watch it. Now, granted, I will watch them sped up, because even though they speed it up, I speed it up even faster. So then it just looks like they are like, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just very soothing to me. And so I enjoy those. But there are some videos that I'm just like, why am I seeing this? Why?
Yeah.
And you'll start getting ads, especially at Christmas time. You start getting a whole bunch of people doing these shops. Now you got to be careful, because they see it as, if you say you're not interested, that's on that person and the product. So if you don't want to lose that friend, you want to make sure that it's like, you got to be careful on some of those. So if you scroll across your friends that have a TikTok shop and they're trying to sell their, they're trying to make some monies, be careful about not like
Yeah.
unfollowing them and just like saying you're not interested, because you may never see their stuff again. But you can definitely adjust it, and you got to think your customers are doing that too.
Yeah.
So if you were, like me, I am all about Scentsy. On my Facebook and my business page is all about Scentsy, but there's times that I put in, different things with my husband and I. Our grandson is playing baseball now, and so I like to share that. My oldest daughter has a litter of puppies that came through. They're hitting 8 weeks. So she has a puppy that they are all a little husky. It's a husky something mix. There'll be about 60, 70 pounds, and one of them has a blue eye and the other one has a brown eye. Like,
All right, no,
uh,
I don't need any more dogs. I'm done.
absolutely.
Just
Hey,
neutered,
Jackie,
not
I get
killed.
your,
I'm
I
done.
get,
I'm
hey,
done.
look, the puppy, I'll make sure the puppy's free for you if you want to come down and get it.
There goes the money.
A
There it goes.
cutest thing ever. But like I share those things. I help with I have friends that have businesses too, and I share their stuff. There is, but you can always adjust your feed. You can always make sure that there are things that you don't want to follow or things you won't want to see. But and at sometimes I am going to have to, like, especially on TikTok, I have removed a lot of I stopped following a lot of people because I also know about engagement, and this works across all social media. If you have 1,000 friends and you're not supporting those 1,000 friends, that means reading their comments, reading their pages, their posts, their videos, their pictures. You're actually hurting their engagement because you're not engaging with them.
If you're not commenting,
Because
if you're not, you know what I mean? Yeah, if you're
yes,
not doing all those things, what's
it's a
yeah.
social media. If you are not social with that person, it actually hurts your account more than and their account. And so you have to think about that. You can have 1,000 followers, that's great, because that means there's 1,000 different people that should be looking at your stuff. But if I'm following 1,000 people, then I'm kind of like, it's my responsibility as a follower, as a friend, to go through and see your stuff. And I'll tell you what, I can't even have 1,000 conversations in one day, much less have to go through the feeds of all of them. Now, granted, some of your friends may not post every day, every
Right.
hour. Maybe they only post once in a while. And that's why they pop up on your feed faster, because they're not posting all the time. So that's just a little social media tidbit. I think I talked about something else with TikTok, but now I don't remember.
I don't remember.
So we've,
But we
we've
did
done,
talk. We should have just recorded from the beginning. I don't remember what was
I don't remember what we said.
it.
Like I said, we kept saying,
We'll
I'm going to
remember
record
next
this.
week.
And then
It's
we got
fine.
on a
Come
whole
back
other.
next week. Come back next week. We'll remember.
Well, I will try to make sure that whenever we hop on here that we just go ahead and record.
We're just
Sometimes
gonna record.
we got to chit chat because, we got to hear a whole bunch of stuff. Like, Jackie's daughter just made me feel like really, really old and irrelevant,
Welcome to my world. That's what she
and
says
I'm
to me
like,
every day.
I miss that because, my daughter's not here to make me feel irrelevant. And now whenever she calls or she comes over, she needs something. So then I feel really relevant because I'm helping. But that's just how life goes. So, oh my goodness, like, yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about or anything else that you want to highlight from what we have talked about today?
No, I think that we did really well. And I mean, I don't know about y'all if you're watching this still, hopefully you are. But next week, I mean, we're like, I came to the realization, I was like, holy crap. The new, like everything's dropping on Saturday. The
Yep.
end of the month is Friday. Okay.
Yes.
Friday is it for February, which yes, it's end of month, which in a typical Scentsy world, like you still do your stuff, but at the same time, remember that Saturday is all not just a new month, it is a brand new catalog. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff to talk about. So next week, next Tuesday, we're gonna have all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
We're
yes.
gonna
Everything's going to be
dive
dropping. There's going to be so many different things. Of course, we have a new whiff box. There's items leaving. So, guys, if you are not connecting with your workstation, if you're not connecting with your Scentsy Connect, you need to figure out some way to keep up with your business. And, guys, no one's going to be able to do it for you. Do not wait for your upline or somebody else in a group to post about what to say, what to do. Start looking at your website. Start looking at the workstation. If anything, just the news tab is seeing what's coming, what's changing, because guys are changing terminology.
Mhm.
So the Scentsy Air, the quad, is now going to be like Scentsy Quad.
Yeah.
The wall fan diffusers are going to be Scentsy Air Wall or something like that. Scentsy.
Yeah.
Nah, I forgot.
Oh, uh,
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Here, we'll go through the catalog. Like,
I
I'll look
say
at
I
the.
don't have my business supplies at the
It's
ready.
okay. It's okay. I got you, girl. I got you. Let's see. Okay, 36. I was close to it. Okay. So the well, the Scentsy Air Purifier is still Scentsy Air Purifier. And then where is the diffuse? Well, I hope they changed them in here. Where's it at? 50. Was I almost there? I was almost there. Nope, that's just diffusers. Hold on, I gotta figure out. Oh, Scentsy Air and Pods. Ha ha ha. 28. Okay, looking in the wrong section. Okay, so 28. So the Scentsy Air Quad is the 4 pods. That is this one right here. So it has the, so this one's the linen, and then we have the new one that has the black base and the black mesh on top. The Scentsy Air Quad, yeah, white. So it's linen and black, and that one's called Crosshatch, and yeah. Then the ones that sit on the table, so that we call them the tabletops, they're just going to be called Scentsy Air.
That's this guy.
Yes, those are the tabletops. So
Yes.
they're going to be just called Scentsy Air. Then we have Scentsy Air Minis, which is the walls.
Yes. Yes.
And then the Scentsy Air Mini Plus is the wall with the light.
Yes.
Then we have the Scentsy Air Go, which is the Scentsy Go.
Yep. And that's
then
still,
it's Scentsy Air Solo is the,
it's still in black.
Yeah, so Scentsy Air Go, yeah, it's still in black. It's only in black.
Okay.
Now there's a Scentsy Air Go Plus, and that was the old white, no lights.
I gotta say old, like it's something like we should be ashamed of over it. Mine still has stickers all over it because that's what I do.
No, not that one.
Oh, this is the light up one.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore.
Oh, we don't?
No. So the Scentsy Air Go is the one that was solid. It's just called the Go Solid, is now called the Air Go Plus because it's rechargeable. So the Scentsy Air Go, which is the black one you had, because it has the batteries and it can be plugged in. The Scentsy Air Go Plus is the rechargeable, so you have the USB to charge it, but it doesn't have the lights. It just has the fan.
Oh, that's right. We did do away with the light.
Yes. And then we have the Scentsy Air Solo, which was the mini fan. That was the single one. So there's going to be.
Does anybody else need a flow sheet to get themselves through this? Because I do.
It's going to be a process, but then we'll get to the point where it's going to flow. But again, your workstation, you need to be looking at the different news.
I need to look at my workstation.
Yes.
Let's just rephrase.
It is going to take some time. And then, guys, I cheat so many times, and I say this, I just go to my website. I go to my website for so many things.
That's my go-to as well. Yes.
Because I can pull images off of there. I can pull descriptions off of there. So learn how to maneuver through your website. Learn how to maneuver.
And I think it's also helpful for me too, because not only is that my quickest go-to, because if I'm looking for, I can just go to the category, like, on the go, whatever. I know where it is, but it also helps me too when I am talking to my customers or even well, I say talking, mostly texting or email. Let's just be honest. But when I'm texting, emailing, messaging my customers, it's normally, hey, if you go to my website, click on laundry or what, and you got to check out the new product that's in laundry and let me know what you think, right? Like that's because I know where it is on my website. Yeah. And that's where my customers are going. So it's good for me to not only, it's a quick reference for me. So I feel like it's kind of like the Cliff Notes version. They don't have Cliff Notes anymore. I don't know. I still call it the Cliff Notes version. So that's my Cliff Notes version. But it also helps, again, when I'm talking with the customers and telling them where to go, because that's where they're shopping from. Well,
and then you can also tell them the shortcuts is that, say that they like bergamot. Yeah. They don't have to remember what it was of what did I say earlier? You don't remember anything, but one of the scent notes, put bergamot in there, and it's going to show them all the products that have that scent in there. So if they're one that, what was the one that you put in your club that you had to have from Bring Back My Bar? Do you remember? What was the one that came back? Like beach? Echo?
There's so many. There's Beach, there's Lucky in Love, there's Thunderstorm, there's
so say that someone loved Thunderstorm and they were not smart like Jackie and they didn't put in their club. You can find what the notes are for Thunderstorm and search for them and say, these have similar notes. They're going to be different. But you can do that and utilize your workstation or your website to be able to find the scents. Like for me, if I'm looking for a strawberry scent, I just type in strawberry and I just look at all the different ones that have
Yeah.
strawberry,
Yeah.
watermelon,
Yeah.
banana,
Yeah.
like whatever. And
Banana.
so it's just a great way. Just, there's so many different ways that you can utilize your business without, like, you don't have to know everything. You just have to know where to find it. That's the biggest part. You'll never know everything.
Mm-mm.
None of us will ever know everything. I keep a lot of random stuff, but there's still times I'm like, hey, what was this? Or where is this? Or what are we doing with this? And I normally ask Lisa because I feel like Lisa does know everything.
I already forgot what all the goes are now. So
They're not all the goes, they're all the airs. So they're
oh,
not
okay, all
goes
the
now, they're all
errors.
the
I
airs.
already forgot. I'm gonna
So
need a flow sheet. I'm just saying.
you know what? I think if someone hasn't made it yet, I will make one for you just so you can have it on your phone as a screensaver and be like, what was that again? Oh yeah, Cassie made this for me. So,
Love it.
I think we have. So, was there anything else? I think we touched on it. Okay, guys. Well,
I
this
think we
is
touched on
who knows best. These are where we have Scentsy consultants get together who work their businesses differently. We do some things the same, then other things we do complete opposites. We all have different fragrance palettes that we love to use, and then we know each other so well. Then I can tell you which ones are Jackie's favorite, and she could definitely pick any one of the fruities to be like, "That's Cassie's." But thank you so much for listening to us or watching us wherever you're watching. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that way you can hear about this next week. We have taken, since the holidays, we've taken a couple of weeks off just because we had a lot of stuff going on. But guys, we are here. We are back in. We are ready to go. So catch us next week on Who Knows Best, guys. I am Cassie Bollinger.
I'm Jacqui Duran.
And we love you all. So if you haven't heard today, we love you. You are strong. You are worthy. You are important, and you can do this business. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.